Hey everybody, welcome to the Yawhg. So the Yawhg is a 1 to 4 player kind of choose your own adventure type game, which kind of is like an interactive comic or graphic novel almost. It's a very interesting and unique kind of game. It does straddle that kind of weird area between whether or not you could call it a game. I'd say you can call it a game. There's a lot of gamey stuff in it, more so than anything like kind of de-wrestler or anything like that, but certainly it has a rich kind of comic heritage to it, which is very interesting, and it's certainly something that I've been enjoying an awful lot when I've been playing. So we'll press a button and we will continue. So essentially it's, as I said, 1 to 4 player. You as a single player can select 2 characters to start with, I believe is your minimum. You can, let's have a look here. So yep, so we can go like that with the gamepad. So we can select 4 if we want. Can I just do 1? Yeah, so select at least 2 characters. I thought that was the case. What we'll do, I will go with Big Tashi Man down here, and we will go with Wizard Lady. We'll press A, and we'll kind of look at the game. So, the Yawhg is like some kind of... So, the Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware. So basically, the Yawhg is like a kind of unspoken or an untold like evil that's coming, whether it's a disaster of some sort. It's kind of a thing that happens, and I don't know what happens. I don't know whether it's a big monster. The Yawhg kind of makes me think it like it's a big lumbering, massive like thing with tentacles, and it destroys everything. But it might just be a massive storm or some kind of evil power. And basically, you start here with your guys, and you've got 6 weeks to run through before the Yawhg happens. You'll see in your top right you've got like your stats per your character, and you've got a list of different areas you can go to. So you've got the forest, arena, alchemy tower, gardens, palace, tavern, hospital and slums. And what you can do is you can select each of these areas. Now this is where it becomes interesting. So what you can do is when you go to particular areas, you'll get a kind of selection of different things you can do per each area. So we'll go, say we'll do forest first, so we can either chop wood or hunt. And with that you'll get different dialogue trees or different pieces of story that appear when you select different things, and it's kind of, it adds to the uniqueness of each run. So when you play it, it's a very short run through. You can say maybe sit and do a run in like 15 minutes or so. It'll probably take longer if you're doing it with 4 players. And with each, so we'll go chop wood, and you'll get certain dialogue things happening. So you spend a week cutting down trees for the village, you gain 2 physique, and you earn yourself 1 wealth. One day you hear hundreds of footsteps rumbling through the forest in your direction. It's an orc raiding party! What do you do? So we can either hide or charm them into not killing you. Now, our charm is not very high. So, sense would dictate we hide because that seems sensible. But I'm going to say we'll charm them and see what happens, because I don't know. I've done it with a lot of charm and it came out okay. So, the orcs listen to nothing you say and capture you. In your holding cell, you contemplate the weight of your own mortality. You lose 1 mind. The next morning, the orcs are all gone and your cell is unlocked. What's happened? So as you see, we didn't have enough charm to really deal with that situation effectively. I've not seen that dialogue part of the story yet, which is really interesting. And before we go and do more story stuff, I want to talk about a few aspects of the game that I really dig. So firstly, the artwork is incredibly good. It's got that kind of graphic novel, comic-y style to it. The music is fantastic as well. It just has a very nice aesthetic to it and a good atmosphere. When I've been playing it on my own and I'm doing a run through, I actually get very involved in the story and very involved in what's going on. It's a very difficult feeling to place, especially with a game that you're not directly controlling in like a kind of action kind of sense. It's more of a like an RPG type thing, where you're getting like story pieces to like, I don't know, level up your character in certain ways by making choices, and I like that. So I think our big Tashi man should go to the tavern. He seems like a tavern kind of guy. What will we do? We'll drink. So you spend the entire week getting wasted. I like this already. This sounds good. This sounds pleasant. You gain 2 charm and 1 physique. One day an impromptu drinking contest is held. Spectator enter. We should probably enter because we're big, we can deal with it. You down pint after pint, drinking as if your life depended on it. I kind of know that feeling all too well. You end up blacking out. Yes, again, I know that very well. When you come to, you find yourself at home, in a home you don't recognise, and only your underwear. Interesting. Your clothes are nowhere to be found, and you seem to be the only one home. What's happened? Who knows? So week 1 finished. So they say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured houses whole, stole lives, the families and family members of, tore families and family members apart, but that was so very long ago. Probably not documented very well. I'd imagine this is a time, it's like a kind of fantasy, medieval type world. I'd imagine this is before records began, as they always say in things like, the biggest storm since records began. When did records begin? No one really, well, I suppose they do know when records began, but why didn't they keep records before? Anyway, we should probably go to... I like the slums. The slums have some interesting things going on. So, we can either fight crime or pickpocket. I like the idea of pickpocketing. So you spend the week performing petty theft. You gain 1 wealth and 2 finesse. We're going to be very finessey. Very finessey. One night, a man walks up to you. "Excuse me, miss, feeling a little lonely tonight?" he asks. "For only a small amount of coin, I can make you feel good all night." No thank you. Your loss. Couldn't care less. Don't want to be boning random guys in the slums. That's the last thing I want to be doing with my time. The Yawgh's coming and I don't even know. The last thing I want to be thinking about is boning little slum men. Slum men? I think we'll go and tend to the bushes. Speaking of lewd behaviour, let's tend to the bushes. So we can landscape or meditate. I like the idea of landscaping. So you spend the week maintaining the plants in the royal garden. You gain 1 finesse, 1 physique and earn yourself 1 wealth. Very good. Walking past the pond one day, you see a fat little frog sitting on a lily pad. "Please, sir," the frog begs. "I'm not a frog at all, but an enchanted prince. If you could see your way to kissing me, it would break the curse and return me to..." I think we should kiss the frog. Maybe he likes a good tash rub. You bend down and kiss the frog. You feel a curious stirring, like a curse trying to break. Unfortunately, you don't seem to be magical enough to get the job done. The frog thanks you for your efforts and hops off sadly. You woke up the next day with a bad case of lip warts. You lose 1 charm. Maybe not the best of choices. So, it was on us in a heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook, the air went still. Interesting. So you'll see that the story builds that kind of atmosphere of disaster coming, looming, the ominous thing, the Yawhg coming for us. We don't know why, we don't know what it wants, we don't know what it is, but it's coming. So I think we should go... So what are we lacking? We need some mind. I think we should maybe go and meditate, perhaps? Or maybe hospital. No, we'll go meditate. That should probably fix the old mind. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. Very nice. One day on your way home from the park, you come across a golden ring in the grass. Oh, wear the ring. Upon placing the ring in your finger, orange glowing markings appear on the outside of the band. Is this Lord of the Rings now? What's going on? The markings unravel themselves from the ring and swirl in front of you. They form into what appears to be a fully armoured ghost radiating a beautiful orange light. Interesting. The ghost turns to you and nods before walking away. But the ring looks good on us, so that's okay. We can take it, so we get 1 charm for that. Not exactly what I was hoping for. So what are we good at? We've got a little bit of physique going on, so I think we should maybe go to the... Let's go and compete in some fights in the arena. So you spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. Very nice. One day, while wandering the halls, one of the arena's fighters approaches you. "Excuse me, sir, I need a sparring partner," he says. "Are you down for a fight or 2? "Well, I've not been one to pass up a fight, except this challenge." "Let's do this," he screams. Takes a swing at your head. You get punched square in the Okay, fair enough. Bit rough, but we'll take it. The next thing you know, you're in the arena's infirmary. It appears the punch gave you... headache never endless. That sounds horrible. Symptoms include having a mild headache forever. You lose 1 mind. God damn it. And then the world was a howling fury, chaos, screaming, the sound of all we knew being pulled in half. The Yawhg sounds... To me, I mean, you never really, or at least to my knowledge, you never really find out what the Yawhg is. It's some kind of unbeknownst, just unknown entity that comes. And I think it's like a massive storm, but I think it's a storm of some evil powers. There seems to be some kind of connection to like the arcane with the storm, and I quite like that as well. I like the kind of unknown like qualities to it. Let's see, what could we... Maybe a bit of alchemy tower. I think we should brew some potions. So, as I'm running through this, so as you can see with the options that you get, you can basically chop and change all of this to your heart's content. You can select things that you normally wouldn't select. You can even do things for adverse effects, because it may become a positive in the future. That's one of the interesting parts of the story, that it develops in such a way that you can make choices. I wouldn't say you can necessarily make wrong choices, because every choice always comes with a kind of secondary part to it, that you can again make another choice, and that can really add to your character. So you may be able to get like certain attributes to your character you normally wouldn't get, that may seem bad initially, and then will of course enhance your character in other ways. And we'll look at that if we can get one of those situations to arise. So brew potions. You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind, so we're getting the mind back up where it needs to be. One day, an artificer? I think it's Artificer. An Artificer stops by for a visit. She's adorned with magical gadgets and gizmos and is followed everywhere by her clockwork spider. Interesting. The alchemists of the tower all go out on their way to impress the Artificer, offering her an array of potions and elixirs. As she's leaving, she adorns the most charming of alchemists with a special trinket. The fact she didn't choose you was very humbly. Fair enough. You gain 1 charm. Okay. So our big Tashi man, he, so what's he lacking? Mind isn't particularly great, but maybe we could go... Let's go fight crime. I think that's a good idea. Wow, he's like the Tashi menace. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. Very good. We're building quite a rough guy. One day while wandering the slums, you notice that the stones used to line the road seem to have a certain pattern to them. You don't manage to figure out the mystery, but you still feel pretty smart for noticing patterns of the tiles. You gain 1 mind. Interesting. So when it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong, or have we forgotten? Have we lost the will to give a... can we go on? Can we prosper? Who knows? These are the things that we must discover. So you can see the artwork around the town kind of area. It's starting to develop a kind of gusty, windy, like ethereally ghosty vibe. And I think that's the onset of the Yawhg coming to ruin our day, basically. So what should we do? I think we might go and help out in the hospital. We will tend to the patients. So you spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. So our mind's going really high. That could be good for several different situations. We'll hopefully look at that in a second. So you gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. One day, while in the maternity ward, you notice a woman about to give birth. The baby she births is no ordinary baby, however. Its skin is pitch black and shiny and its eyes glowing like orange flame. It's a demon! Why are you birthing demons into the world? It wrestles itself from the doctor's hands and tries to fly away. Stop that demon! Yells the doctor. Use magic since it's higher than strength. With a wave of your hand, you put up a magical barrier blocking the exit. The demon bounces right back off it and collapses onto the ground. Quick thinking! You gain 1 mind. The doctor runs up with a scalpel and quickly slits the demon's throat. That made me kinda sad. It's still someone's baby! Even if it's a demon, even if it's your demon baby, it's still your baby. Your mouth goes agape at the doctor's merciless killing of a baby. He shrugs and walks away. Well, so some of these storylines are like stuff that I've not seen before, which is very interesting because I've played a fair bit and I thought I'd experienced a lot of what was going on, but I like the fact that I can still experience many different parts of the story after roughly just over an hour of play, and that's like, what, say 5 or 6 playthroughs? So what should we do with Tashi, man? What does he... Wealth is sitting a bit low, and I think we should probably work on our physique so we can go and chop some wood. You spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and you earn yourself 1 wealth. One day during the forest excursion you stumble upon a swarm of rats. At first you jump backwards in shock, but then you start to hear them conversing with one another. They call you over. Excuse me, sir, as a rat would say. And a high, excuse me, sir, because it has to be a high-pitched voice. Do you think you may be able to help us out with something? I think that's what a rat would sound like. If a rat could speak, it would probably be kind of like that. You see, we're trying to elect our new leader, but it seems our votes are completely tied. We're trying to decide between Seedpaw the Vengeful and Blightooth the Wise, says the rat. His voice was starting to break there because he's very emotional. He's been trying all day to get this vote done and it's just not happening. The rats are very, very unyielding. Seedpaw steps forward. If you vote for me, the rats will have a powerful leader. One who isn't afraid to take our fight to the enemy, proclaims Seedpaw. Rather rough. I like that idea, although he sounds very, like a warmonger. We don't want that kind of leader, no. Blightooth steps up. If you vote for me, good sir, I will lead these rats to an age of enlightenment, says Blightooth. Which rat do you choose? I'm going to go with Blightooth the Wise. Half of the rats roar with tiny applause. Is what they would kind of sound like, I think. Seedpaw bows his head and walks back to the mass of rats. Blightooth claims your shoulder. No, he climbs up onto your shoulder and whispers ancient secrets into your ear as thanks. You gain 1 mind and 1 magic. The Yawhg. It's almost here. Almost. So as you'll see, it's becoming more and more ghastly looking. There's a lot more kind of swaying and swirling of the clouds and things around, and the music's getting that kind of sinister, powerful kind of vibe to it, and I think that's what makes it great. It's got a really great progression to the story, and it just all fits together to make a really, really great atmosphere for a game that you would look at initially and say, I'm not sure how I would feel about this. It's a kind of thing that I was between whether or not it was something that I wanted to play, but after playing it a couple of times, it's genuinely really, really great. And anyway, we'll continue. So we've got a lot of mind. What would be our best place to spend our mind? To spend our mind? What's the palace? Do administration work or attend the ball? Yeah, we'll do administration work. You spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. You get paid 2 wealth and you gain 1 mind. Our mind's really high. One day the court jester approaches you. Would you like to learn to juggle, he asks. I'll teach you everything for a small sum. We've got a lot of wealth, we might as well, sure. You spend the day with the jester practicing your juggling technique. You improve dramatically, very nice. You gain 2 finesse. You gain another 2 finesse. Happily you pay the jester for all the services. You lose 1 wealth. Wow, okay, we've got a lot of finesse going on. And I think we should probably round up Tashi Man with... Oh, we'll go for another bout in the arena. You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique, 1 finesse. We're strong as an ox. Another warrior's weapon is knocked from their grasp. You barely manage to avoid it. With a sickening crunch, it destroys the knee of a nearby bystander. He accuses you of causing him harm by not stopping the flying weapon. He takes you to court. Defend yourself. You object, but you can't seem to convince the judge. He rules in the plaintiff's favour and orders you to surrender 2 wealth. And I guess that's that. The storm arrives in the night. By the morning it still rages. For 3 full days the tempest puts us through a grinder. Drowns us, crushes us, ruins us. But then it ends. We see the graveyard our homes have become. Our home. Does anything yet live? Is it? Are we past saving? So this is when it all surmounts to your choices and what you should best suit your people to be. So we've got our first choice is our wizard lady, who's quite good with well, relatively good with like magic and finesse. Our mind's very high. I think as far as it goes, I think she should be our leader. So you take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. You try to delegate tasks, but you can't get many to listen. Or maybe, oh, she didn't have enough charm. That's right, maybe I put her in the wrong job. You try to give congratulations to hard workers, but your words come across as insincere. You help the rebuilding effort a little bit. So big man should be the builder because he's just a big guy. You take it upon yourself to help rebuild the town by hand. You rebuild homes at breakneck speed, impressing the rest of the survivors. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly. And so, we set about our tasks, once more living our lives, this time in a way we might never have expected or even wanted. But in the end it was a struggle, but a struggle we would never abandoned. Through our home, though our home had been stripped apart, we did not let it languish. And whether we succeed or fail, we did our best, which is kind of a nice sentiment. We know if the Yawhg will visit. Who knows if the Yawhg will visit us again? Who knows if it will ever be? Can't ever be ready for it. So yeah, the Yawhg. That's like one instance of a playthrough that is going to be different every time that you touch the game. And I love the artwork and the music in the game. I just want to say it's just a fantastic story. And oh, I forgot there's a last little bit. While the town is being rebuilt, you decide to move into the woods. You become the friendly local lumberjack and fashion yourself a log cabin. You spend most of your days chopping down giant trees and carrying the logs to the town gates. You make friends with the dryads of the forest and spend every weekend at their wild river parties. All in all, you lead a good life. Interesting. The Yawhg traumatized you deeply. Despite everything starting to be okay now, something in you snapped. Maybe they're witnessing a floating... That's horrible. Maybe it was witnessing a baby floating face down in the water. Maybe it's when you found a man skewered in a fence, still squirming slightly, his eyes in empty void. Perhaps it was when you saw a group of kids that were trapped in the school had resorted to eating their rotten teacher's corpse. Whatever it was, you can't help but drink. You drink so much you're not entirely sure what is real and what's an illusion. One day you look into the mirror and your eyes are empty, hollow. That's just straight up sad. So as you'll see, Damien Sommer is the programmer, designer and writer, and Emily Carroll's the one that done the art and the writing. Music and sounds by Ryan and Helena, and special thanks to lots of people at the end. And that gives you a kind of idea of the Yawhg. It's a very light playthrough. There's a lot to experience, and I've not had the chance to play it with anyone else. Just myself, I've just had playthroughs. And I'd say it's something that can probably be very, very fun with a group of people, especially when we're looking at the choices that can be made and the differences that you can do in the story. And I would say it's a very great game, and I'd recommend it if it's something that you're interested in, like graphic novels or comics or generally kind of story choose your own adventure type stories. I'd say check it out. Very, very good game.